Hi folks, let me show you what I did with my Mazda Tribute. I recently fixed the exhaust leak in this front exhaust manifold. That one, the middle one, was broken, so the flange came off from the exhaust manifold, the center one, so I welded that part myself instead of buying a new exhaust manifold. So that one is cylinder port number 3. Actually, that one is the center. You can see that one. See, I welded that one as well. A bit, yeah. So yeah, that's the middle one, and the third one there. So this front side, these are cylinders 4, 5, and 6. So that center one is the one that came off. That's why it's having a very bad exhaust leak. To my surprise, when I'm removing the stud bolts, this third one, those 2 bolts or nuts were very loose, so it's not holding the manifold anymore. And to my surprise, when I removed the manifold, the center one came off from the manifold. So instead of buying a $200 exhaust manifold, I decided to fix it by myself. I welded that part. I did test it already, and there's no more leak. So to remove this exhaust manifold, you have to bring down this compressor holding by these 3 bolts, long bolts, 1, 2, and then 1 there. So you don't need to remove the lines, the connections. You just need to bring it down and seal it in a chair maybe, or so it won't be putting strain on the hose connections. Also, what I did was removing this oil pan because it's having a terrible leak already. So see that I did not purchase a new seal for this one, oil pan seal, because it's too expensive also, at $183, which is the aluminum and rubber seal. So what I did is remove the oil pan and clean the surface from the block and the surface of the pan, and just put a bead of RTV silicone super black permaseal. Now it's been more than almost 24 hours since I put the silicone, and it's looking good. I think it's time to torque it to proper specs, which is this one should be torqued to 18 foot-pounds. There are 2 bolts that has a different torque specs, which is this one here and one there. Where's the other one? Where is it? Oh yeah, that one there. Those 2 bolts holding or bolted to the transmission, it has to be 30 foot-pounds. And there are 2 bolts here as well. It's similar to 18 foot-pounds on all of the oil pan bolts. All in all, there are 15, I think, oil pan bolts, plus these two bolts holding bolted to the transmission. So in order to bring down the oil pan, you have to remove this pipe connection of the exhaust. Not that hard. Just need to make sure you use an impact wrench. Make it easy for you. I'm lucky it did not break any bolts. So this is the hanger. Has to be removed. So this one is the how do you call this, the center cat converter. So I'm reusing the old metal, how do you call it, metal gasket. Recently I can't find any gasket that will fit this Mazda Tribute in the parts store, so as it has to be ordered again. I can't wait for it. And when I inspect the gasket, it's still good because it's made of metal, not the usual exhaust flange gasket. So this is the rear exhaust manifold. So as you can see, the gasket is still there. I've cleaned it already and installed it back, so it's not falling because of that. See, it's secured on the bolt. It's not falling. So hopefully after this fix, it will lessen the oil leak. The only leak this engine has is coming from, but pretty sure it's coming from this crankshaft seal, and a little bit in this timing chain cover, but it's just a seepage oil leak, so I'm not gonna worry about it because it's a big job if you're going to replace those seals, the timing chain cover seals and the crankshaft seal. It's really a big job removing the two rocker cover on top, because this is a V6 engine. Removing that engine support there and dismantling the power steering pump. So another thing that I've made for this one is fixing the leak from this hose. Pretty sure this is also a transmission oil line. So there's a leak from this part of the hose and then going to the transmission's body. So yeah, after this I'm going to make a test drive again, see if there's any more leak from this oil pan. That's it. Hey, this is the hose that's leaking, which I replaced. I don't know if you can see the where is crack hole. It's somewhere here. Yeah, see that? So that's the one causing the leak. So for this one, I can't find this type of bend in the parts store, so I ended up buying this kind of hoses again. It's being sold by a meter, so I cut it in the proper length and then made a bend like this, which is not bad. It's not kinking, which blocking the flow of the oil. Another thing I did was that hose there. There's also massive transmission oil leak from this one, so I replaced that portion of the hose and put a copper pipe in between, because I can't find this type of transmission cooler hose, transmission oil cooler hose. I can't find this one in the parts store, so I just made this fix and then put a nice wire clamp so it won't leak again. The other side of the line is this. It also has a leak from this, so again this type of wire clamp fixes the problem. I used my DIY tool to make this wire clamp. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about with that type of tool. I didn't buy that tool, I just made it by myself. Okay, the first one I need to tighten to proper specs is these two hidden bolts here. It's a size 13. And just to note that you can't use this thick socket. It won't fit in that portion, so you might be using this thinner wall 13mm socket as compared to this one. See, this one, the thicker one, won't fit, so you won't be able to tighten it, but this smaller one, a thinner wall socket, goes into the bolt. Okay, so for this one, so those two hidden bolts, I'm going to tighten it to 18 foot-pounds. So that's 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So that's 18 foot-pounds. So let's torque this one down now. Okay, that's one. One more. Okay, and then we move to, okay, oh, it's hard to remove. Now we move to tightening the two bolts holding the transmission to 30 foot-pounds. Those two bolts has a different torque settings. Okay, should be 30. Okay, so set at 30 foot-pounds. This is the final torque. Okay, that's one. Okay, that's 2 volts, torque at 30 foot-pounds. Another check. Okay, now I can use this 3/8 socket, deep socket, 13-inch, 13mm to torque the remaining bolts of the oil pan. So I'm going back to 18 foot-pound setting. The other one is 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, back to 18 foot-pounds again. Now for this, we need to start from the center and doing it a crisscross. Yeah, crisscross motion, starting in the middle. Yeah, and then this side. Okay, so I'm just going around the bolts crisscross like that, starting from the middle until I finish tightening all the bolts, and I'll get back to you. Okay, this one is the sump plug. This one is a size 15mm. You have to tighten it, torque specs of 19 foot-pounds. Okay. That's it. It won't one leak. Also, do not forget to install like this dust protector of the transmission. Okay, just clip with this two metal thing. Okay, here I'm tightening the rear exhaust manifold bolt. And then I'm going to just setting number 1 for this torque wrench. Then I will plug it down to 30 foot-pounds. So both of these, the front and then for the flange one with the flex pipe, I'm using a swivel adapter like this. It's a 14mm as well. Again, I put a lube on the bolts, which is anti-seize lubricant. So next time we're going to remove it. It won't be hard. Okay, started with hand, and then we'll go to tightening it with the specs, with the wrench. Okay, for this one, might use an extension because it's not seating properly. Yeah. Okay. This flex flange nut is set to torque 37 foot-pounds. This rear manifold and front manifold flange bolts 30 foot-pounds. Okay, and then don't forget to put the rubber hanger back, and that's it. Nothing to worry anymore. Everything is fixed. I just need to torque it down to proper specs, and then ready to fill up the oil. Okay, one last check. Everything seems to be installed back, tightened into proper torque specs. Okay, belt, oil filter replaced, sensor harness connected. So I just need to fill it up with oil, make I'll crank the engine, test for leaks, and then I can install back the shroud cover on this underneath here, and then install back the front bumper. Okay. Okay, here's the video of the repair. So the exhaust doesn't have running all week. Engine is now running good. Oil pan, gasket leak is fixed. Exhaust front not in a leak as well because I welded it. No more transmission oil leak. Okay. And it's looking good. Problem fixed. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.